Beautiful shot there of downtown Des Moines, a beautiful skyline. I wish it looked like that right now, but the capital of Iowa is blanketed in snow right now, and that's where we are for Deck Pass Live, presented by Xfinity. And we are here at the Wellmark YMCA, the brand new facility here for the next stop of the TYR Pro Swim Series. It's great to be here at the beginning of March. Things are really heating up. We're about to have World Championships in a few months, and of course, everybody's got their eye on Olympic trials. Hi, everybody. I am Jeff Cummings, and again, it's great to have you here. We're 2 months removed from the last Pro Swim Series meet in Knoxville, Tennessee, where we had some really great swims. We're going to see how people have done with a couple of months of really high-intensity training behind them. Now, this Pro Swim Series is a little bit different than it has been in the past. In the past, you got points based on your top 3 finishes, and the top point finisher got $10,000. This year, it's a little bit different. What you see here are the points that you get for your best individual swim based on FINA rankings. So as you see right there, Josh Pernot and Ryan Murphy are ranked 1, 2 in the men's. Ryan Murphy's 100 backstroke from Knoxville. Josh Pernot's 200 breaststroke from Knoxville ranked them first and second. Then you see a tie there for Katie Ledecky and Reagan Smith. Those 937 points are based on FINA point rankings based on how their times stack up based on the world rankings. So I'm sure Katie Ledecky is going to be looking to get her point standings a little bit higher. Reagan Smith, of course, not eligible for those because she is NCAA eligible, but it's going to be fun to see how that goes through the next 3 months. And joining us here on the Deck Pass Live, Des, is my co-host for this weekend, 3-time Olympian, 4-time Olympic medalist, Kara Lynn Joyce. Kara, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. I wish it were a little bit warmer, but we'll make do.
I wish it were too. So the last time you were on Deck Pass Live, it was summer. It was at the Irvine Nationals. It was so warm, actually a little too hot. But tell us what you've been up to since last summer.
Yeah, last time we talked, I was about to put on my second summit. So I host the Lead Sports Summit for teenage girl swimmers, and it went great. And now, a couple months later, we're already deep in planning for year 3. So it stays busy.
And where is this one going to be?
It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia again.
Oh, very close to your alma mater, University of Georgia.
Yeah, about an hour away. We're actually at Tech, at the Georgia Tech campus, so it's the enemy. Don't tell Jack Bowerly.
I'm sure maybe next time, near year 4, you should have it in Athens.
I like that idea.
Yeah, and Jack, I'm sure, is very proud to see the accomplishments you've been making in these past few years.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you here because we got a lot to talk about with the swims here. I mean, as I said, we're getting really close to World Championships. You've been to a few World Championships. What's it like in those last 3 to 4 months in the preparation?
I mean, right now it's March. March is time for fast swimming.
Yeah.
Whether you're a club swimmer, whether you're in college, NCAAs are right around the corner, or if you're a pro, this is when you swim fast.
Yes.
And after this is typically how we transition into long course season. So I bet a lot of these swimmers will take maybe a couple days off, maybe even a week, and then right into long course training for Korea this summer.
I know, it's going to be exciting. And it's the last World Championship before the Olympics. As I said, we're 15 months away from the Olympic trials. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't really get the nerves about, oh my gosh, Olympic trials is coming until about maybe 12 months before. What was it like for you, maybe
oh
like 15 months before?
Constant countdown, like 800 days out, like, oh my gosh. No, but you're right, it's 15 months away, and the quadrennial goes faster and faster. Maybe it even goes faster when you're not competing, but for these athletes, I mean, this summer, this is their last international meet before they get to go to Olympic trials to race for a spot on the Olympic team. So there's a lot weighing on this summer. It is a pretty big deal, and you want to have that momentum going into the Olympic year.
Yeah, definitely do. So let's talk about actually some of these athletes who are here that we're going to see at World Championships and Olympic trials. I want to talk about those 1,500 freestyles from last night. Wang Jianji from China,
yes.
15:46 in the women's mile, won by like almost a pool length. It was pretty spectacular to see her do that.
Not that long ago, I mean, before Katie Ledecky, that would have been right around the world record, even a couple seconds faster. I think you and I were talking about earlier today. So 15:46, while the world record is a good 20-something seconds faster than that, that is a fast time.
Very fast. But that men's 1,500 was epic last night. Anton Ipsen and Jordan Wilimovsky were never separated by more than 2 seconds, and then it was a fast and furious fight to the finish. Anton Ipsen got his hand on the wall by 0.05 of a second. a mile, and it's separated by 500ths of a second.
Those are like hundredths of a second. That's more like the 50 free, what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But going head to head, I mean, that's a dogfight. That's like these guys probably what they're used to doing in practice, day in and day out with their teammates. So great mile times for March, and being able to throw down head to head is always important.
Right, and then we moved on to the prelims this morning. Started off with the 100 freestyles. That men's 100 free, I guess, everybody's in different stages of training, so you don't really know what to expect. But I guess it's a little bit of a shock. Caleb Dressel, the reigning world champion in the 100 freestyle, did not make the final here in Des Moines.
Yeah, Caleb actually, did you see him race in that brief this morning? He didn't even have the full jammer on. He threw on the brief, but you know what? He got himself a second swim. I'm a little interested, actually. He's seated 15th going into finals tonight, which means that he'll probably have an outside lane. And a couple other guys in his heat are not 100 freestylers. You have Jacob Pebley in there. You have Zane Grothy in there, all touched ahead of him this morning, 200 backstroke mile. So I think Caleb will be just fine in that outside lane tonight.
He will be. I think he's got a fire lit under him, knowing that, they're not here to play games. Everybody knows that Caleb Dressel's the man to beat, so I think he's going to put up some really good times. So going to one of your specialty events, the women's 100 freestyle, we got a Canadian, Kayla Sanchez, leading the field, but someone I'm really keeping my eye on is Margot Gear, who has been right on the cusp of making the Olympic team past couple of times. And I think she really has a good shot this year. And she really has been hammering it in swim practice all the time. She swims up at Indiana University, and she's really been bringing it the past like 5 or 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of her swim today?
It's funny that you mentioned she's been going at it for a while. When I made my last Olympic team in 2012 in the 50 freestyle, I swam in lane 2. Margot Gear was in lane 1. That's how long this girl has been around. Not consider myself old. She's up in Bloomington now at probably one of the best post-grad groups that we have in our country, and just keeps getting faster and faster. I saw Olivia Smoliga is seated second. We have Natalie Hines in there tonight as well, which is really interesting. Olivia and Natalie are training partners, so I think that's shaping up to be a great event tonight.
Yeah, and then one of my specialty event, the men's 100 breaststroke, just really quick. 5 guys under 101 in that final in the prelims. It's going to be really great. I really hope to see a 59 on the board. Who's it going to be? Cody Miller, Andrew Wilson, Michael Andrew. You just don't know. These guys. I mean, the top top 3 Americans are 3 of the guys you're going to see fighting for that spot in the Olympic team next year. So keep your eyes on these guys and kind of start making your bets to see who's going to make that Olympic team next year in Omaha. So the Pro Swim Series takes a lot of work. USA Swimming works very hard to get these meets put on, but they do a lot of work also with their annual Make a Splash tour. And this year's tour will be held in San Diego and Corpus Christi, Texas, as well as one city that you can choose. You go to usaswimmingfoundation.org to pick the 3rd city for the tour, where people like Simone Manuel, Ryan Murphy, Cullen Jones, and more will inspire kids to enjoy the water. And here's a taste of what to expect at a Make a Splash event.
Hey, Mom and Dad, there's a way to let your kids have fun.
And learn a skill that can save their life.
Swim lessons, woo!
Sadly, drowning takes too many young lives, but it's preventable, and studies show that lessons reduce that risk by 88%.
So go to usaswimmingfoundation.org and enroll your child today.
I learned how to swim.
The USA Swimming Foundation, saving lives and building champions.
And joining us right now on the Deck Pass Live desk is Bill Wadley. Bill, it's great to have you here.
It's great to see you guys as well. I tell you, this is a great thing to have such a great event in Des Moines, Iowa. It's our first exposure to world-class swimming in Des Moines, Iowa. Even though there's been plenty of great young swimmers dating back to Craig Oppel back in the mid-80s that have been in Des Moines, Iowa, but this is the first time we've got a chance to invite American swimming and world swimming to Des Moines, which is really special for us.
I bet all the kids who are going to be watching here are going to be really excited, because it's probably the closest they've been to Olympian probably ever, or at least for a long time.
Too funny. So last night I had 3 young girls who were warming up for the meet, and Caleb Dressel was in the lane next to them warming up, of course, and they couldn't focus on warm up at all. They had one thing on their mind, and that was meeting Caleb Dressel.
Of course, who wouldn't? So you're no stranger to world-class swimming. For 28 years, you were the head coach at Ohio State University, did very well there with the Buckeyes, and then you retired in 2017, and now you're here in Des Moines. So what brought you here to Iowa? What convinced you wanted to be here?
Well, the folks are unbelievable, number one. The people in Des Moines are outstanding. They're wonderful, welcoming people, and it's a community that people really have no idea how special and unique it is. But I have a son that lives in Kansas City, and my wife took a job at the University of Iowa in orthopedics, and so it just worked out for me to be able to come here and help the city of Des Moines develop a program. The pool is just a little over a year old, and so this is the first major international event here in town. We have futures this summer, and we have some other events that we hope to get in the future, but we're really excited about the opportunity here this weekend.
This is an incredible facility. I think people forget we're at a YMCA right now hosting a huge national level meet. I mean, this is probably the nicest YMCA I've ever been to.
I have to agree with that.
It's special, you know, and the guy who, there's a lot of people that were involved in this vision, of course, and I was fortunate enough to be in the very ground level about 5 years ago, came out when we very started talking about a new pool in Des Moines, Iowa. And to see it come to fruition and to see this event here is just absolutely magical, and it's going to be special for the families. I think we'll fill the pool and we'll fill the stands here over the next 2 days, and you'll really see a lot of energy coming from the stands with the families.
Awesome. So as the head coach of the club team here, I mean, what do you see for the next 5 years? Do you have a projection of how you want the team to develop or grow?
Well, so what we did is we combined 7 local YMCAs into one team.
Wow.
So they used to be their own team, and so what we thought was the best plan was to take them all and make them one team. So we named them the Greater Des Moines YMCA Swim Team. They each have their still their same head coach, and all the local families still get to swim at their local YMCA in their neighborhood, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And we have 3 levels within each team, 8 and under, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then all of the kids that are high school age would come down here to the new facility and join us with 3 levels down here. And so we think there's alignment, and we think we've got the right staff, and it's just a building and a patience kind of thing. It's going to take time, but we're excited. We've gone from not having a group of kids to go to the Y Nationals, so this year we'll have about 20 kids attend the Y Nationals for the first time. So it's exciting.
Well, it's great to see you back on the pool deck. You know, I've heard some comparisons that getting away, I know retiring from swimming, stepping away from the sport is hard, and I've heard people compare you to John Urbanchek, the notorious guy that cannot get away from the sport.
Well, John Urbanchek is like magical to me. He's like one of the greatest guys on the planet. Not only is he beloved by everyone, but he brings a happiness and a joy to the pool deck, and I would love to be in company such as John's, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody would agree with me out there when I say we don't want you to leave the pool deck. I remember when I saw the announcement you were leaving Ohio State, I was like, I hope he does something in some way, because you did a lot of great things for the sport, and we hope it really continues. And it looks like it is. I mean, first of all, just to bring this meet here, which I know you're instrumental in doing that, but just to keep it going, you got futures here, you got a lot of athletes going to Y Nationals. I really think it's going to really bring a lot of attention to swimming in Des Moines, because, like you said, we're 21 years now since an Olympian has come from Iowa. I think it's time for another one.
I think, and there's plenty of young people who would love to be that next Olympian from Des Moines, Iowa, that's for sure.
I love it.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for joining us. All the best to you here in Des Moines, and we're going to be keeping an eye on the Greater Des Moines swim team and see how they flourish in the next few years.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Caroline.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, so it really does take a lot of work to bring a lot of these athletes into the pool. And as I said, USA Swimming does a lot of work with what you see here, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, including their diversity and inclusion program. And here's a look at what that entails.
They might say we don't belong.
Why do we even do this?
We might even get sideways glances.
They say we are different.
And we are.
We stare at a black line for hours at a time. We are up before the sun rises.
And cover thousands of miles without actually going anywhere.
We train for countless hours to get just 1/10 of a second faster.
We are different.
We are swimmers.
We are USA Swimming.
And we are one.
USA Swimming Diversity and Inclusion has been empowering athletes and coaches for 15 years. Through education programs, camps for athletes and coaches, community swim team programs, and coaching mentorship. When looking back at the past 15 years, it's hard not to be wowed by how far we've come, from teaching thousands of kids how to swim, all the way to Olympic gold. We are proud of what we have done and are excited for the future. We are USA Swimming. We are one.
And we're back here in Des Moines, Iowa. As Bill said, it's become a premier facility to this pool. I walked in and I was very impressed. Like you said, this is the best YMCA that I think I've ever been in.
Blown away.
It's just really fantastic, and we're going to see some really great racing tonight. And one of the things that you want to keep an eye on as all these athletes are racing are the swim squads. That's one of the big things that we keep track of throughout the TYR Pro Swim Series. So you see the 4 captains there. We got Camille Adams, Maya Dorado, Connor Yeager, Elizabeth Beisel, all very famous Olympians. And look at the lead there by Camille Adams. She's got a 10-point lead after just one meet, and it's going to get even better as we go along. You know, Elizabeth Beisel, who is known for her back-end speed in that 400 IM, I think she's going to be the one to beat at the end.
See, that's funny, though, because Camille is really a back-end 200 flyer.
She is, too. I mean, they're all distance-based swimmers, so I think they're saving the best for last. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And Friday we're going to have the mixed medley relay, which is going to be for pride with the swim squads, and I think that they're really going to be really excited to see what they can do with that mixed medley relay. And of course, the winner of the swim squads gets, I think, $10,000 to the charity of their choice. So it's really important for these men and women to be able to swim and be able to give money to a cause that they believe in.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to be back here tonight for another episode of Deck Pass Live after finals. You don't want to miss it, because we're going to have short course world champion Olivia Smoliga.
Yeah, 8-time world gold medalist.
I cannot believe the meet she had there in China. It was amazing. I can't wait to talk to her about that, and of course what she's looking forward to in these next 15 months getting ready for trials.
Yeah.
And then we're going to break down that men's 100 freestyle. As I said, it's going to be an epic race. You don't want to miss that.
A and B final will be really important to watch.
Yeah, so after you watch the live show on the Olympic Channel and NBCSN, be sure to come to us at usaswimming.org. We'll have Olivia here. Kara and I will be here. You don't want to miss it. So for everybody here behind the camera, in front of the camera, thank you for watching today, and we will see you tonight.